Hello and welcome back to the underestimate and another edition of AEW Collision Out of 10, the last show before Christmas, so a holiday episode, but we also got the final build-up of Collision, with no show next week, towards World Ends. Even though the pay-per-view is a priority, it still had plenty of action, including the Continental Classic matches and the return to action of Thunder Rosa. But we started things off with Claudio against Danielson, instead of the usual series of quick backstage promos. The show started with Danielson's entrance for the match. This was a C2 tournament bout, so they started with a handshake to show some respect. The match started with a nice exchange of technical submissions and pinning combinations. They intentionally held back on bringing strikes into it until the American Dragon nailed Castagnoli with a stiff kick. The Swiss then fired back with an uppercut that seemed to catch Danielson by surprise. A couple of minutes later, he showed some frustration when resorting to poking Danielson in his good eye before attempting several pinfalls. It probably goes without saying this was a very good match. The two of them are the most lauded in-ring performers of their generation. They both brought out the best in each other, and they had a great match going up against each other. They were worked into the match, and it was made clear that it was never important to both men, but they felt like a best race. Even when Castagnoli took the low road, it felt like it was out of desperation, not animosity. They started running out of time, so both men tried their biggest moves to take each other out. Castagnoli hit Danielson, locked him with a sharpshooter. When they announced 1 minute on the clock, the Dragon broke free, and Castagnoli hit a big uppercut, but the time ran out before he could make a cover. This allows Danielson to advance to the finals. They hucked it out and shook hands, even Claudio was disappointed. But yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought this was a really, really clever use of the draw. Had to be at some point, and this was a perfect moment. The respect was obvious, but they still went far and had a brilliant match. So yeah, this was great stuff. Trio's titles were then on the line as the Acclaim took on Top Flight and Action Andretti and Ja. These are two very kind of different trios. Top Flight and AA are high flyers who focus on big spots and complicated sequences, while the Acclaim bodyguards favour crowd interaction and multiple man slots. It's not hard to mesh the styles to create a fun spectacle, and that's exactly what these teams did. Competitive, high energy and fast paced, which is exactly what it needs to be. Caster was able to get the win for his team by pinning Dante, but it was a win that left the door open for a eventual rematch because it felt like a lucky pin, and I hope so, because yeah, the Acclaim's title run has definitely just gone stale, hasn't it? We just don't really get anything from them anymore. I think that's kind of a bit of an issue. I really want more for the trios titles because they have so much potential. It's just not getting much. Top Flight, since their return, obviously have a lot of goodwill from the crowd, so I felt like this could have been the perfect opportunity, especially after seeing what they did on Rampage a few weeks ago. But no, it wasn't to be. Before it's time for Brian Cage versus Keith Lee in a big man match. And yeah, not only are these two men who pride themselves on their strength, but they also show agility. We see matches that accompany cruiserweights like Hurricane Ranas and Tornado DDTs, but anyone that's been following the careers of both men isn't surprised by this. They're two of the most versatile performers you ever see. Prince Nana put a cinder block at ringside, but it didn't matter because Lee hit his finisher for the win to end a highly entertaining encounter. And yeah, gets 6 out of 10 from me. Seems like we're building towards Keith Lee v Swerve to finally round that story up, kind of very randomly. But yeah, there we go. Big win for Keith, but for Brian Cage, another disappointing loss. And yeah, he just kind of seems anonymous. You forget that he's an ROH 6-man champ. Before it's time to Brody King versus Daniel Garcia in the Continental Classic. Before that, Christian Cage came to the ring with Nick Wayne and brought out Shayna to explain the match. And the crowd booed her and responded by saying she didn't know what she did to Copeland because Nick is her son and she loves him, which is fair enough, I suppose. I think yeah, we kind of all see it coming. And yeah, Big Bill, Ricky Starks, Chris Jericho setting up the match with a mystery partner at World's End. We then went back to the match, and yeah, intriguing to see who that's going to be, by the way. But DJ may have mathematically eliminated at this point, but he started by slapping King to show he wasn't scared of a much larger opponent. What finished was several minutes of King putting Garcia through the ring. Garcia never showed fear, but was clearly in lots of pain. The more King dished out, the more it seemed to energise Garcia. King put his hands behind his back and let him chop him several times before hitting a huge forearm side. Garcia scored a huge upset win to eliminate King from the tournament. When the rest of House of Black showed up, Danny Magic tried to protect him until FTR showed up to clear the ring at ringside. The story that's been told with Garcia during the tournament has been great. Even at 0 points, fans are cheering more and more from every week, and he's going to be an important figure next year in AEW if he continues to perform like this. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 on Dusty for me. I think the right booking, setting up a Danielson Kingston match next week to decide who goes through. And yeah, I think Brody King really deserved that win. So yeah, on the whole, got no issues with this booking at all. This was solid stuff. We then got Sky Blue and Julia Hart versus Thunder Rosa and Abaddon. Thunder Rosa making a long-awaited return to AEW with a special lowrider entrance to team up with Abaddon to take on Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Blue took Abaddon down with some stomps to kick off the action. Blue played spoiler by knocking Rosa off the apron to present a tag when Abaddon had a chance. Lamela Mera continues to cheer her partner until it's finally her turn to dish out some punishment, and the former champ got a huge part when she came in and cleared house. The bout was well stretched and got the most out of the crowd. None of the moves were particularly memorable, but the way they were reacting made every moment feel important. Rosa scored the win for her team and celebrated in front of an exciting San Antonio crowd. So yeah, gets 6 out of 10 for me. I think Rosa for her first match back, nothing special, nothing you're going to remember too much, but just nice to see her back, and yeah, hopefully leads to more stuff with her team. Before it's time for Andrade versus Eddie in the final group stage match of the Continental Classic, they shook hands, but Eddie Lowe shoved in to show there was no love lost. On the surface, the two men appear to be opposites. Kingston's brawler, Eddie Lowe technician, but they have a lot more in common than an MA team. However, they may move from spot to spot, but it's different, but both men can finish you with a submission or a stiff strike out of nowhere. They didn't try to match the intensity of Danielson versus Castanoli or the brutality of Garcia for King. Instead, they made this match more about the story of the Mad King doing his best to stay alive in the tournament, that both titles on the line. After a long struggle to break free from a figure 4, Kingston picked up the win to advance in the final with Blue. The American Dragon came to the ring for a standoff to end the segment, and yeah, this was really good, setting up the match perfectly, kind of the way I expected it to go. A brilliant match to round things off as well. So yeah, this was good stuff. And overall, Collision this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, a really enjoyable episode of Collision. All kind of led to Kingston getting that win. I think that's exactly the result that I and most fans wanted. So yeah, very pleased with that. And yeah, just on the whole, a really, really good, fun episode of Collision leading into World's End. So yeah, 7 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks very much for liking, subscribing. There's also for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.